Hi everyone, hope you enjoyed the first movement video. There was quite a lot of content in it, so the next 4 that we do, we'll just break each of the 4 movement steps down into one video where we can just focus on each of the steps and help you get those right. So just a very quick recap. We had the mogul step, the power step, the hop step and the drop step. So today we're going to go through the mogul, and we'll start with just a couple of warm-ups that you'll see are all based around the side step movement of a mogul step. First warm-up exercise the boys are going to do, it's very simple, just pulse raiser as well at the same time, but they're going to be sidestepping around, and every time they change direction they've got to work on a crossover step. So I'll leave that up to them. So they'll travel a little bit of distance with side steps, and then they'll do a crossover step every time they move in a different direction. Off you go, boys. And what it's starting to get them to think about is using this side step idea, which is just that one movement in the shot, and then the crossover step is their first step on the recovery back towards the centre of the court. This is brilliant for the mogul step, really good to get a feel of the mogul step. And you can do it in 2 ways, I'll show you both, okay? I might do it without my racket to start with, just to get a feel of the action that my feet are going to take when we do the movement. So I've got a cone. Could be anything, plant pot, whatever you want it to be. I'm going to line up with my right foot behind the cone and the rest of me to my left of it. I'm going to set myself a pretend racket with my hand, and all I'm going to work on is hitting as I do my side step movement. And I'm going to transfer feet. So my right foot is behind the blue cone, my left foot's behind the blue cone. Now pretend my backhand, same thing. And all I'm doing is I'm getting a feel the mogul movement with my feet. So if you just watch my feet again, this time I'll do it with a racket. So prepare. Just keep watching what my feet are doing, because when we build into moving towards a shot, this is the movement that you're going to make with the mogul step, with this side step idea. So maybe Danny, you do it without the racket. Here you can do it with the racket. So you can see both versions of it. So line yourself up, good, and off you go. And you can see you'll get different things happening. So you can see at the moment, Kian's managing to take his swing pretty much as he's doing the movement. Danny's doing the movement and then he's got his swing coming after, which is okay because he's learning the movement at the moment. So Danny, see if you can take your swing as you move. Bit better, good, keep doing it. Hopefully those 2 warm-ups have given you a little feel for the mogul step, or certainly parts of the movement in the lead up to and from the mogul step. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take you through in slow motion the 3-step pattern into the mogul step, and then the 3-step recovery when we come back towards the centre of the court. So what I've put out is the red cone, where I'll be pretending the mogul as a forehand, and the blue cone, where I'll be using that as my start point, okay? So, we talked the other day about the movements being squats and lunges. So, I'm in my ready position. My 3 steps are to open out towards the direction I'm moving, that's step 1, and that's a lunge. Step 2 is where I prepare the racket, it's another lunge. Step 3 is my loading step, I'm now into more of a squat position. And then I go through with the side step movement that we've been working on in the warm-up to play the shot, and now I'm into my 3-step recovery. So the crossover step as a lunge, turning now step 2 into a squat, and then back with another squat into my ready position. Now I'm just going to switch it to the other side so that you see me play a backhand with a mogul step. So I'll start at the red cone with a 3-step pattern going over to the blue cone. So my ready position, more like a squat position, set behind the red cone, ready to move. My first step goes to my backhand side, my left. So that's the lunge, where I'm moving to that side. Second step is another lunge, and I've prepared the racket at this point. Step 3 is turning into this squat position, and this is my load, to then go into the side step movement and hit. That is the mogul step. Then the 3-step recovery, so the crossover step, into more of a squat, and then my recovery back to the start. And the third version will just show me flowing from one side to the other, so going out to my forehand, doing my 3-step pattern to a forehand mogul, and then coming back, not coming to a stop in my recovery, but flowing instantly into the backhand side and then flowing back to the forehand. So the 2 cones now will be the 2 balls that I'm moving out to hit, 2 positions I'm going to go to for the forehand and then the backhand. So I'll do it slowly to begin with. I've got first step, second step, third step and the mogul. Then I've got my recovery, squat as I begin to get to the point where my opponent's going to hit the ball. And then instead of stopping, what I'm going to do from here is open, flow into the backhand side. So that's step 1, step 2, step 3, and the mogul, the recovery. I'm flowing out to the forehand side, the recovery, flowing out to the backhand side, and I'm just beginning to speed it up a little bit now. So you can start to see how this all works. That's given you a chance to have a look at me breaking each of those steps down. Watch these next few clips of the different guys doing their versions of the mogul. Watch how I've slowed it down, break it down for yourself and learn from seeing other people. Okay, so we tried little bits of resistance training as a way of building up the muscle memory of these movement patterns. I'm going to show you 2 of these, one with the Dynaband that Danny's got round him now, one with the elastics, the big elastics, and I know people won't have these at home, but it's good to see how under more resistance you start to work against them and really build up the strength of the movement. And the video that had Joe on, last videos, you'll have seen those in use then. Okay, so watch what I do with Danny now. So lots of you might have a Dynaband at home. You just get that round your player, your forehand and backhand mogul mover, and watch what Danny does in the 3 steps. So I've got this pulling against him now, creating resistance. So go Danny, step 1, good, step 2, good, now load, rackets back, ready to play, and mogul. Good, crossover step, good, and set, good. So he's just done the forehand mogul. Let's get him to do the backhand, just move up a little bit. Go, so 1, 2, and the open stance. Good, now play your shot as you do the mogul. Good lad, crossover, squat, and squat. And just at the end he was starting to get closer and closer to me, so the band was starting to be stronger than Danny. Certainly when he went out on his forehand, he was stronger than the band. Then you might get them to do it without the band afterwards, and what you'll hopefully see then, he's had a bit of a gap now, so we won't go into do it now, but you'd hopefully see them want to move their body forwards more. They really are still fighting against the band, creating that resistance. Next one, we'll use keying on this one, the big elastics, okay? So a lot more resistance, something you can create. You might have something at home that you could use, or just the Dynaband version that you saw with Dan. But I'm going to go behind here. Going to create a real pull against him with the elastics, so he's almost falling forwards now to keep his balance. This will really get him to work hard to use the 3 steps correctly. So off you go. 1, 2, 3, good, recover. Now to the backhand side. He's doing well with it, it's good. Good, and he's actually flowing from side to side as well, which is great. Stop there. So you've seen the clips of the guys slowed down doing the mogul step. You've seen the stuff that we went through before that as well to give you lots and lots of practice at doing it. We're now going to try and do it with a ball, okay? So gradually building up to using it on a court properly. What's great about using Kean and Danny for these videos is, as I've said to you in previous videos, these guys don't play tennis. So what you are seeing now is as though I'm teaching a proper lesson and I'm introducing it to someone. So you might see them get it right, you might see them get it wrong. We don't really know what's going to happen now, but that's great in terms of you seeing how this might evolve while someone's learning it now. Take you back to the warm-up where the boys did an exercise with a cone, lining their foot up and then just trying the mogul movement. So this is how we're going to bring it in now to introduce the ball. So Kean sets himself with his foot behind the cone. Just do what you did in the warm-up for me. And he then lines up the different foot behind it. Well, we're just going to look at the forehand one and see if we can get him to play the shot and do the mogul step. Very, very simple, condensed version of it that gives him a chance to just work on that tiny moment when he does the mogul and the shot. So set yourself, racket back, and go. Good lad, well done, recover. Ooh, remember your cross goes in front, not behind, line up behind it again. Go. Good. Okay, now we'll get Danny to show the backhand side, or to try the backhand side. So again, might get it, might not, let's see how it goes. So he lines his left foot up behind the blue cone. Get your racket prepared now, take it back. Good, further back, good. Okay, go. Good, and again. Set the foot there, get ready, good. And you can see he's a little bit out of sync. I'm going to give him one more, but he's out of sync. He's doing the movement and then he's way later with the shot. So I'm just going to get you to hang on to the movement for a split second longer. So don't go into the movement too soon. Take your racket back. Now move. Bit better. We'll get them to try to put the 3-step pattern into it, to both the forehand and the backhand side. If you're struggling with this, you might just get them to do it to one of the sides, so to the backhand or to the forehand side, whichever you want. But I'm going to give Kean a go at this one and just see whether he can go from side to side with it. Okay, you ready? So, go. Good, recover, go. Well done, good, recover, go. Good, recover, go. Good, excellent, really good. So he's done that great. We didn't know that was going to happen like that smoothly, but he's done it. Really, really good. Things will break down as you're doing that. Don't worry about it. Keep plugging away with it. Try to work your 3 steps into it, and the timing of his shot was great with the mogul step there. So really good example of it, a really good example of someone learning it and building up towards getting it right. So hopefully that's useful for you, and lots to work on with the mogul step. Next video will be the power step, then we'll go to the hop step and the drop step. We'll just break them down like we've done there. Final thing really to say about the mogul stuff, and it'll be similar with the power step. These are steps that are taken when you put under a little bit of pressure by your opponent. That'll help you make tactical choices about shot selection. It's highly likely that you'll be playing a cross-court ball from this mogul position in the power step position more than you play down the line. It's highly likely that you'll be in more of a rally or a defensive situation as well when you're forced into these movement steps, and that might change certainly when we see the hop step. The other thing that it's doing, and this is what's really key for me, is it's the efficiency of movement around the court. So we're working in 3 steps. Said to you in the last video, it depends on the ball that you receive, how many steps that you might take. This could be done in a single stride, this could go into 3, 5, unlikely to make 7 steps and still get to a ball, but it's the ball that determines how many steps you will take. But in doing these patterns, we're making ourselves as efficient as we can be, using big strides to the ball and maybe some little adjustments as we get there, and then our 3 steps coming back, or whatever we need from the position the ball has taken us to. So enjoy trying it. As I said to you with the previous video, these are really, really important. They're suitable for everybody to try, and you can get a lot out of it.